Hi, welcome. My name's Faris Arfrahman. This is my business economic projects. And in this presentation, I'll explain about money supply and the Federal Reserve System. Enjoy it. Now, I'll talk about the money supply and the Federal Reserve System. Usually it's called Fed. An overview of money. Money is not income, and money is not wealth. Imagine of a $20 bill. That bill may pass through 1,000 hands in a year. Suppose you get a $20 bill from an ATM and you spend it on a dinner. And the restaurant puts the $20 bill in a bank in the next day's deposit. And the bank gives it to a woman cashing a check the following day. And she spent it at a baseball game that night. The bill has been through many hands, but not as part of anyone's income. In this session, we will talk about what is money. Money as a medium of payment, a store of value, and a unit of account. Let me explain about barter before. Barter is a direct exchange of goods for other goods or services for other services. Oops, sorry, a bad example. You have to find someone who has what you want, and that person must also want what you have. But what happens if you don't find anyone? So, money as medium of exchange is what sellers generally accept and buyers generally use to pay for goods and services. A store of value. If you raise a chicken and at the end of the month you sell them, you may keep some of your earnings until the time you want to spend it. Money as a store of value is an asset that can be used to transport purchasing power from one time period to another. A unit of prices. Textbook is quoted as costing $90, not 150 bananas or 5 DVD. Various kind of money. Generally, there is two kind of money: commodity monies and fiat or token money. Commodity monies. Those items used as money that also have an intrinsic value in some other use, such as gold and silver. For hundreds of years, gold could be used directly to buy things, but it also had other use, ranging from jewelry to dental fillings. Fiat or token money is money that intrinsically worthless. The actual value of one, 10, or $50 bill is basically zero. What other uses are there for a small pieces of paper with some green ink on it? Measuring the supply of money in the US. Money is used to buy things, a means of payment, to hold wealth, a store of value, and to quote price, a unit of account. Based on that characteristic of money, There are various kinds of money in the US. To solve the problem of multiple monies, economists have given different names to different measures of money. M1 for transaction money and M2 for broad money. M1 transaction money. Money that can be directly used for transaction. It could be currency held outside banks, demand deposits, traveler's check, and other checkable deposits. M2 broad money. It cannot be used for transaction directly, but it is easy to convert them into cash or transfer it from one saving account to another. It includes M1 saving accounts, money market accounts, and other near monies. And how banks create money? Let's start from a historical perspective. Goldsmiths. In 15th and 16th centuries, citizens of many lands used gold as money. Because gold is both inconvenient to carry around and susceptible to theft, people began to place their gold with goldsmiths for safekeeping. On receiving the gold, a goldsmith would issue a receipt to the depositor and charging him a small fee for looking after his gold. After a time, these receipts themselves, rather than the gold that they represented, began to be traded for goods. The receipt became a form of paper money, making it unnecessary to go to the goldsmith to withdraw gold for a transaction. Receipts issued by goldsmiths were backed 100% by gold. If a goldsmith had 100 ounces of gold in his safe, he will issue receipt for 100 ounces of gold. When goldsmiths changed from mere depositories for gold into bank-like institutions that had the power to create a money, goldsmiths gradually realized that they could lend out some of this gold without any fear of running out of gold, because people didn't come often to withdraw gold. By lending out this gold, they could earn interest on loans. And let's see how goldsmiths lend the gold. Suppose the goldsmith has 100 ounces of gold on deposit and received for exactly 100 ounces of gold out to the various people who deposited the gold. Sometimes, goldsmith tried to lend the gold to someone who wanted to borrow. Goldsmith lent 20 ounces of gold, and he doesn't want the gold itself. Of course, rather he wants a slip of paper that represents 20 ounces of gold. The goldsmith, in essence, creates money for you by giving you a receipt for 20 ounces of gold. There will be a receipt for 120 ounces of gold in circulation instead of the 100 ounces of gold in deposit. The receipt is outstanding were greater than the amount of gold they had in their vault at any given moment. If the owners of the 120 ounce worth of gold received or presented their receipts and demanded their gold at the same time, the goldsmith would be in trouble. Modern banking system. The basic of accounting said that asset means liabilities, it means net worth. Assets are things a firm owns that are worth something. It can be borrower's loan, cash on hand, and reserves.
Why do banks hold reserve or deposits at the Fed? Because the legal requirement that they hold a certain percentage of their deposit liabilities as reserves, and it's called required reserve ratio. If the reserve ratio is 20%, it means a bank with deposit of $100 million must hold $20 million as reserves. And when the bank has net worth 10 and total liabilities is 110, so the bank can give loans 90. The creation of money. Like explained before, in Goldsmith history, the creation of money happened when the bank lent money out. Banks make loan up to the point where they can no longer do so because of the reserve requirement restriction. The point usually called excess reserve. Excess reserve is the differences between a bank's actual reserve and its required reserve. Assume that there is only one private bank in country. The required reserve ratio is 20%, and the bank starts off with nothing. Now suppose that someone deposits 100 of them in the bank, and the bank deposits the $100 with the central bank. So, it now has $100 in reserve and liabilities of $100. Because of the reserve is 100 and 20%, so deposit could be Y times 20% is 100. So Y is 500. So the maximum loan is 500 minus 100, and it will be 400.